At GEBE, we take the safety and quality of your water seriously. Every day, our dedicated sample collectors venture into the field, visiting the places that matter to you: water tanks, school, supermarkets, home, and high-risk areas. Once these samples return to our water quality lab at KB, they embark on a journey that safeguards your well-being. Our dedicated analysts take over, sending these samples to the microbiology and chemistry departments respectively. This is where the magic happens. We test for a range of parameters, and we do this every single day, no matter what, including holidays and weekends. In our microbiology department, we focus on two major tests targeting various bacteria. Confirmation tests are conducted, and we have plans in place in case the results are confirmed. And then we do it all over again, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Rain or shine, your water safety never takes a day off. So when you turn on the tap and enjoy a glass of GEBE's water, you can do so with confidence. GEBE, the power to serve.
Great job, Carl. Thank you. Jeremy, come on up. For the final word in the Spelling Bee Championship, please spell insurance.
Insurance. N-A-G-I-C-O. Insurance.
That's correct. I hope your father can spell Najiko too.
Najiko is insurance. Insurance is Najiko.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
At GEBE, our commitment extends beyond utilities. It's about exceptional service. Meet the heart of the operation, the customer service team. GEBE, the power to serve.
And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to be. Tell me how to wait for. Tell me all that I should know.
The court! Hey! Happy Friday, guys. Of course, it is all about the quote of the Dick. They have lots of stories from the Daily Herald, which we are going to go into. Of course, as you know, I did not watch this. Judge Dick is in the house. We're going to be doing this for the fun, for the culture. Let me start off with Thursday. Russian asylum seeker convicted without punishment for having 2 fake passports. Only in St. Martin. The court of first instance has convicted a Russian asylum seeker for being in St. Martin with 2 fake passports, but did not impose a punishment because the man has already been sitting in immigration detention for longer than the prosecutor had demanded. 3 immigration officers escorted AN into an almost empty courthouse on Wednesday afternoon to stand trial on 2 counts of having a fake passport. He presented a fake Swedish passport to immigration on February the 28th, and while still in detention, received a Russian passport through a friend in Europe, but this turned out to be a fake too. This is a clear-cut case from a legal perspective, the prosecutor said, considering the charges proven because of a police officer who specialized in detecting fake documents, had determined that both ends' passports were fraudulent. 2 fake passports. How is that even possible? And then they rightfully so to have 3 police officers, because I think they must have heard Russian. It was like, what? Putin ain't gonna get me. No. 3 police officers on 1 man. Now, he admitted to the court that he knew the Swedish passport was fake, but said he had no idea that the Russian one was not legitimate. However, the prosecutor argued that N should have known his was also a fake because obtaining a new passport through a friend is not an official route. Oh. Yo, do me a favor now. Can you give me a passport? I don't have one now. I just get catch for having a fake one. So you get me it. I authorize you to get it. And they just go, yay, my friend is in jail. Can I have a passport for him? I'll wait. Like, come on, guys. Now, defense lawyer Remco Stomp argued that N should not be held criminally liable for trying to enter the country with a fake passport by appealing to Article 31 of the 1951 Refugee Convention. The article prescribes that members of states from imposing punishment on refugees who enter their land illegally and to have traveled directly from the territory where their life or freedom was threatened. Okay. Kind of boring story. Almost fall asleep on that one. What else do we have? 2 acquitted for gun smuggling. The court of first instance on Wednesday acquitted 2 men suspected of trying to smuggle firearm components via cargo moved through St. Martin's Shipping Company in 2022. I still don't understand why in 2022 they still have these type of situations whereby you continue to put your name at a shipping company and expect the people, like the agents, not to like track you down to your house. It's an address, for God's sake. The case against the pair started August 22nd, 2022. When custom officials found several gun parts hidden in a speaker box that had been shipped to St. Martin from Miami, Florida. The prosecutor requested that the judge drop the charges against S, but demanded that H be given a 24-month prison sentence. The prosecutor told the court that there were indications that H had been involved in gun smuggling in January of 2020. H lawyer Shamia Roseberry. How is that? Listen, MP Roseberg for the win. MP Roseberg for the win. How? Does a member of parliament say, I will defend persons who are accused of gun smuggling? But we need to stop these people from gun smuggling. But let me first represent them in court because I want second salary. I'm reading and minding my business. Shamila Roseberry, you understand? Re-elect me because I represent you in court and as a public servant. So give me another salary, St. Martin. 5-star representation. Is it like this? Anyway. The Honorable lawyer, Shamia Roseberry, pleaded for her client's acquittal and insufficient evidence. You can't read it properly because she's an MP, right? So it's like so crazy. Anyway, the judge sided with the defense in his verdict. Also, Samira won. She got the acquitted. She got the gun smugglers off. St. Martin. The judge sided with the defense in this verdict, ruling that it was difficult to determine that H knew there was contraband hidden in the package. Yeah, I never seen that before, but it's your package. I've never seen that before. Stop giving me bags. It has your name tag on it. I never seen that before. Take mine. Go look for somebody else. But Andrew, it says Andrew Dick. Somebody planted it. I just say. I just saying. Ghost guns are increasing being imported into the Caribbean. The Cayman Islands newspaper Cayman Compass reported last month, based on interviews with the gun smuggling researchers and a former senior official in the American Bureau Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. There are firearms stripped down to their individual components, with the parts being smuggled into the region hidden in legitimate cargo. Damn! Are you getting creative, man? What? So 5 packages, 5 pieces of the gun, and then they just put it together? I didn't even think on that. I mean, no, you can't, you should never smuggle guns. No. It's horrible. Anyway, let me see if there's any other court case. Oh, we gotta do Friday? Okay, we'll do Friday. Um, Okay, I found one. So 2 suspected drug mules were each given 2 months in prison for racking up a bill at approximately $3,600 at a local hotel, all paid with a stolen credit card. Gifney Pereja, 28 years old, and Cirilo Magadu, 19 years old, did not attend their trial in the court of first instance on Wednesday, as both Suriname-born men have been deported since their last arrest. Are you just deporting people back to Suriname? My. Don't have to be so aggressive and send people from where they're from. I would have feel for them, because if it's jail in Point Blank or if it's Suriname, I would have picked. They're gonna disown me. Let me leave it alone. I would be like, hey yo, you get to the bunk, mate. Anyway, the prosecutor believed that the pair intended to be involved in drug smuggling. Although no drugs were found in their hotel room, he told the court that authorities did find little plastic bags known to be used by drug mules to swallow bolitas filled with illicit substances. Or he just have a fascination with little small bags. Stop it. Don't assume you like to have little plastic bags. I think that's mostly some of the stories. All right. Welcome to the show. The court returns after these messages.
Attention, St. Martin. Get ready for the biggest used car blowout event of the year at Motor World Used Cars. Happening on Saturday, June 1st at 9 a.m. sharp. A wide variety of cars, Jeeps, and trucks will be on sale with discounts off the entire inventory. They're offering certified pre-owned vehicles starting as low as $5,000. And remember, cash is king. First come, first serve. Don't miss out on Motor World's used car blowout sale on Saturday, June 1st, where you could save big on a used car. Visit Motor World Used Cars in Kobe or MotorWorldGroupSXM.com for more information.
Man, my data just ran out.
Here, you can use my phone.
Thank you. Come on, man. My data finished again.
Relax, honey. You can always use mine.
Wait, how come you always have so much data?
I told you I switched to Tele mobile postpaid plans. Those plans come with plenty of data, so I will never run out of data again.
Okay, well, why don't you come over here and show me more about these plans? Because I'm about to switch to Telem data now.
Welcome back to the court. One of my favorite segments is, of course, the flashback segment. You're excused.
Flashback.
Welcome to another installment of what we call the Great Debate segment, special segment of the Late Night Show. Of course, I'm your host, Andrew Dickon. Today, we have two parties represented on the program. Now, the Democratic Party was supposed to be here today. However, no show, so we decided those who actually want to participate in our election process. So we got to fill in for the Democratic Party, and that is, of course, a complete different party, and that is the National Alliance. And of course, the ECE is here in the house once again, the leader and the only candidate on the ECE. So it's not hard to make a choice, right?
Nope.
Good evening to you guys. How are you guys doing? Let me start off with Mr. Foston. Yes, go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning to everybody. My name is Ishmael Kenneth Foston, number 23 on the National Alliance. Thank you for the interview, Andrew. Thank you for the invite, Mr. Woodley. It's nice to be here as long as I'm with you. Hope to have a good debate.
I was just about to say, are you shaking hands? This thing looking good. All right. Let me start, Mr. McGee. Go ahead.
You already know who I am, the one-man party from ECE. That's Empire Culture Empowerment. My name is Nigel Emmanuel Wigley. Vote new. My vote is for you.
Okay. You changing slogans every time you come on the show, man. All right. Now,
the voice of the people.
And the name. When he came out, it was Nigel Emmanuel David Wigley. I always those four.
You always remember.
Because it's vote new. It's vote new. You know what I'm saying? Vote new. Well, the D is there, you know, that's my family name, David. You know what I'm saying? So I gave them the respect. No, you're going to vote new. Because it's Nigel Emmanuel Wigley. That's the name on the ballot.
I bet.
All right. Gentlemen, let me start off talking about the most talked about issue, and that is, of course, the future, the young people of St. Martin. We always talk about youth development. We always talk about the progress of young persons in St. Martin, but do we really see it? It's important that we get the perspective of the different political parties when it comes to youth development, because every party might have a different approach or should have a different approach, because that's why there are different parties. So hopefully we get to get the distinction here today. Mr. Wigley, your thoughts on youth development?
Well, I got, my main thing is empowering the youth of today and tomorrow, for today and tomorrow. So one of our platforms is for the youth. Our foundation is for the youth. So we got a lot of projects for the youth. We got we gonna make sure we tackle the education and the curriculum. We're gonna be examining the school and the facilities. Next week I'll be at the schools visiting them. We're gonna take on the sports, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot.
Let me mention something. So yesterday the union came out with a press statement, and the statement had to do with the lack of attention at the school.
The lack of what?
The lack of attention.
Okay.
And a bunch of promises that were made to the schools as far as repairs is concerned.
Right.
So, what would be your first approach when it comes to the schools? Because it's always good to say, yeah, we're gonna fix the schools, but
How
Well,
are you gonna do it?
we can't say first approach because I've been already doing stuff for the schools, checking for the schools. We have petitions going on. I started a donation for the school. I wasn't really pushing it that much because obviously I'm a one-man party, but that's how I'm gonna approach it. You know, donations, the community has to give back to the youth because it's not one family raises a youth, it's the whole community. So I think, you know, people should want to give back.
All right, Mr. Poston, your thoughts?
Same question. In terms of what we can do, I'll say three things. One, we definitely need to look over the FBE system that we have right here. To some people, they love the FBE system that we have here, at least in public education. Some people don't. I think, and some people believe it doesn't work. I think we need to do a better job in terms of trying to incorporate the FBE system in a way that teachers have a better time in terms of teaching their students and be able to cater to weak students. So we have areas in that regard. We, in my opinion, another impact we could look on as well too is the family home, social emotional situations going on at home. Sadly, we don't have enough social workers here on the island, which is a big problem because Mr. Wigley I'm sure Mr. Wigley will agree to this. We have a lot of families with youth at home in trouble situations. So now you're seeing the mental health of youth here on the island getting even more worse. So in a sense,
how do you attract social workers to
First and foremost, we need to have the manpower to be able to go out into those families to see how we can help.
Yeah, but you need to pay them properly though, because it needs to be attractive for them to come to St. Martin to actually contribute. Because you have a bunch of people that are studying abroad, but then when they come back,
they overqualified and can't get the job.
Okay, I didn't want to say it, but yeah. That's usually what happens, you know. It's like, okay, come back to St. Martin, and then when you come back, you know, you can't pay them, or they overqualified, so they end up leaving again. So it is a situation that we also need to look at to be practical.
I once floated the idea where we could provide the responsibility upon government, and I don't mean currently now just with this government now the nationalists. I mean just imposing government to whoever's in, where we can make government somewhat responsible in helping that person find a job. So hear me out. When a student receives study financing from St. Martin, along with maybe the Netherlands or the university or United States, they go away, they study everything, they come back. Now, if St. Martin was responsible for helping you gain that education, let's put it on St. Martin government to be responsible to help you achieve that job for said education that you study.
Okay.
We could put different policies in place that would say you are not allowed to pay back, because you still have to pay back the study financing that you pay 40% as a grant, 60% as a loan. Forgive me if I have those mixed up. However, you're able to say, you know what, you're not required to pay any of that, or at a different percentage, or you start paying at a different year. Exactly. Create different incentives where, okay, government has to make sure this person is employed by what they were sent away to study. And if not, then those requirements they have to meet to pay back their study financing kind of is a bit laxed.
All right, that's an interesting point, Mr. B.
Well, for me, you know, that's all good points, right? But for me, that's wishful thinking. You know, NA been in power, been in government for the past 4 years, nothing has been done. So I don't know how not particularly to attack you, how you gonna make a difference and how NA is gonna make a difference, you know. So if the people, you know, their confidence should be in me, because I'm the one that's gonna come out and really try to set up policies to encourage international local students to come back, much like myself, because when they come back, what does the government provide for them? Nothing.
Yeah.
They say, what, you're overqualified. They don't encourage you to get a good job. If you and your family, the housing, I was just about to get to that. Give me a second. The housing ain't even there. You know what I'm saying? Imagine me coming back and I have to go back in a family house. So, and they don't be doing nothing with it. So when you say this, that, like I said, nothing against you, but that camp, that shirt you wearing, they don't do nothing for the students, nothing at all. Like I said, look at what's going on with Sunday. Nothing was done. And as far as the mental health facility, there's a lot of students that's going through this type of stuff. They're saying they got mental health issues because When they go to school, they don't teach them about our history. They teach them about their history. They don't teach them about our culture, how our ancestors was, nothing like that. We just learn about our colonizers' history. So obviously when they wake up to the truth and they want to know what's going on, you know, the first thing they say is, oh, these youth are a little crazy. These youth ain't really, we can't program them properly. So and then right away they say they got a mental health problem. And I could tell you that because I got some little cousins and some little youth that they head on, they know what's going on, but they don't get the type of support from the school curriculum, you know. And
But doesn't parents have a responsibility also?
the parents have a responsibility, but think about it. Look, the parents are working all day. You know what I'm saying? And secondly, they're in school most of the time of the day. The parents are working all day. You know, if you know when that minimum wage low, you got 2-3 jobs, you ain't got no time for your children.
Listen, most responsible adults I know were raised by hardworking parents.
Exactly. You know. Okay, cool.
My parents work 2 jobs.
Okay, cool.
So I'm listening to him.
Yeah, but let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Times have changed. People are more busy because they gotta survive. Let's be realistic. You know, your government ain't really taking care of what's need to be taken care of. So there's more stress on them.
Let me give him a chance to respond.
So just to rebut on just a couple points he made. I love when people say, National Alliance was there for 4 years and what they done or they didn't do nothing, ignoring stuff, accomplishments by our Minister of Justice, our Minister of Finance, things that the Prime Minister has tackled on, forgetting that that this government had to go through a pandemic that affected the world, not just St. Martin, the world. And I love how people talk as if National Alliance been in government for the last 30 years and nothing get done. It's the last 4 years, since 2020. Since then, National Alliance went on a promise of stability, holding government together along with our coalition partners, and we successfully done so. Of course, it had rocky moments, don't get me wrong. It had rocky moments. I ain't going to debate on that with anybody, but at the end of the day, it made it till the 4 years, and that's a success in itself.
But isn't that to the detriment of the National Alliance, though? Because then people would go like, okay, well then stability is the only thing that you focused on for the 4 years.
Still, I would not say no, definitely not the only thing. But it's one of the main things because okay, here, I'll give you a scenario, Andrew, and this is a scenario I give to a lot of people. If we go back in the days of before 2020, and I'm sure you could remember this all too well, Mr. Wigley, I hope he was on the island then. Before 2020, what was the theme of government? Government falling every other year.
Yeah.
And I stress stability a lot in my 2020 campaign. I did that immensely, simply because it don't matter what plans you have, I have, any other party have, any other outside person not in politics have. If the island cannot stay stable and the island will continue falling every other year, you tell me what will get done, even if you in there. So people like to take, I guess, throw that under the bus or maybe not understand how important that is. But if we can't stay stable, then nothing will get done. I don't care who you have in there. I don't care what good intentions, which party, nothing will get done. Hence why the importance of stability has always been paramount.
All right. Any other point you wanted to rebut on?
Well, that was one point he mentioned.
Yeah.
He mentioned certain things concerning the health and the youth. Now, when Mr. Wigley speaks in terms of he's been doing these things, earlier when you asked me, I said specific things that I want to tackle. The mental health, FDE system. I'll be honest, it was more stuff I wanted to go to in terms of a national after-school program when it comes to the government. However, you can't just trot and say, I'm going to be looking out or looking to fix the schools or talk to the schools. Them. At the end of the day, the question always comes back to us politicians as how, what you're going to do, how you're going to tackle these things. It's fine and dandy to say you're going to tackle them and how, and okay, we're looking into this, but how are you going to tackle it, especially, as you say earlier, being a one-man party, being a party that has to struggle. You mentioned that you had a program that you're doing with the kids, but you haven't been up on it simply because you're a one-man party. Again, a team comes together and we try our best to make the island better. I try to avoid the bashing of this party, bashing of that party. I actually look to see what good do each party do or candidates in a certain party do. Mm-hmm. Just to see the good in every party or the good that comes out, because at the end of the day, that's how we're able to pretty much work together and unify the country and get better. So for me, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of how you're going to do certain things when you say you're going to tackle this or do that or try to take on things with the youth?
Okay. I'm sure you have an answer.
Back to let's focus on the youth because you went a little crazy with the NA and all that. Let's focus on the youth. So I want to know what have NA done with returning students in the past 4 years, because we saying we're gonna do this, do that. Point is, a lot of students came back during the time. I don't even know if y'all did a survey to see how much of them are employed now and how much of them are unemployed, how much of them is in their career field or how much of them are not. Y'all didn't do no survey with that. So we would like to see a survey so we got some facts behind it. Now, secondly, I like to call out what parties didn't do, but I'm still looking for unity. If anybody willing to really be sincere and work for the students and for the youth of today and tomorrow, I could work with. Secondly, I keep hearing people saying what they gonna do, this, that. I'm on the streets almost every day talking to the youth on different blocks. Today you might find me in Soccer Garden, in Town, Colby. Point is, I'm on the blocks every day talking to the youth. So even though I said, okay, I'm a little busy doing certain things, I always give them time every day. You could ask any one of them what I do when I'm on the block dealing with them. I try to educate them on what's going on. I also ask them questions on how we could better them. How's the job market? You know what I'm saying? How it is, how you see the world, how do you feel things is going on with how are the adults looking after you? I do that every day. So when I come in to office, I already have a plan because I'm already communicating with them. I know which direction they want to go. So when people say they're going to do this, do that, I'm like, how you going to do it if you're not even communicating with the people? That's why I said I'm the voice for the people. I'm dealing with them every day. So I already have plans and already got policies set up. But I'm waiting. I want to see what everybody else got.
You got plans and policies set up.
We already got things set up. Look, you see me with all my paperwork.
And for the sake when it comes to, being transparent to the public, you have those plans and policies outlined in your videos, outlined when you speak.
Man, they've been out since August, man. They've been out since August. So people know already what's going on. You get what I'm saying?
Let me jump. Yeah.
I'm being
in.
real. The parties don't know because I focus on the people.
Hey.
I don't focus on the parties.
Okay,
it is what it is.
Okay. Let me jump into my own show. Let me go back to something that's been also discussed over the past decade, which is the language situation. Now, of course, English, Dutch. Oh, we should go English. Or we should just discontinue with the Dutch. We should just forget about it. However, the most important sectors in our community is Dutch. So, your thoughts and your plan of action when it comes to it, you're going to leave it how it is as far as Dutch and English is concerned, or we just want to get rid of Dutch completely?
Me, I always think it's beneficial to know as much languages as possible.
Yeah, that is smart though.
You know, because I always was proud to say when I was living in America, and I would be like, I could speak all these languages, so that's one of the good qualities that we have. We're very bilingual, so I like that.
Okay, I would concur and say that when it comes to the language barrier, yes, Dutch is our official language. Even though when you look at some descriptions of St. Martin definition and stuff like that over the internet, I think like Wikipedia has Dutch and English.
Yeah, I think they have English and Dutch.
Yes,
and then I get so pissed off every time I see that, but you can edit it on Wikipedia, so I don't take it that serious.
At the end of the day, I don't think we should abandon the Dutch language. I'm definitely not going to be a proponent for that.
I think you'll lose the passport.
As Mr. Wigley stated, I would agree that, look, at the end of the day, being bilingual, I'm bilingual, being actually multilingual, is an asset and a benefit to you, to your knowledge, to a country growing up. So I think keeping both languages is fine. And even for those important places like you mentioned, actually you've seen it in actually some institutions, Dutch and English. You've seen the paperwork in Dutch and English in terms of the preference to what that official
but it's not being done to instill the Dutch, because I feel that over the years we've moved towards English more, and abandoned the Dutch. But then who suffer is the young people who have to grow up And then notice that when you go to the Netherlands, for example, you go there with what? A Dutch passport. And the first thing they watch you is, sorry, wait, you have our passport and you don't even speak Dutch? So, and at the end of the day, you don't find that, it could be to the detriment instead of it being a plus also. But you have to look at both sides.
What I look at is I tell people, go in what is your interest. So what is your best interest? If you know that you have intentions to study, if you're a student and you know you have intentions to study in the Netherlands, please get acclimated quickly with the Dutch language. If you know you don't want nothing to do with it, I studied in the States. I didn't go to the Netherlands. So when I know I wanted to go to the States, someone like me, I'd understand if someone like me was like, yeah, I ain't gonna prioritize the Dutch so much. But if you're saying you're going to the Netherlands or maybe you want to study in Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, please get acclimated. So that would be my answer. Get acclimated into the language or culture that you're intending to live your life for the rest of your life in terms of education or just to live.
All right.
For me, one more comment. For me, the system is in Dutch. You know, when you're getting certain documents is in Dutch.
Yeah.
So you should at least know the fundamentals or the basics. I learned the basics in System Acta, so we should at least start from there. So that way when they read in your rights and your laws and it's in Dutch, which I do teach the children, been teaching them since pandemic when your government was shutting down the island and taking away our rights left and right. Now we're in the Caribbean. Ain't no worldwide, we Caribbean, we different. So I was actually out teaching the people them. I didn't know. Yeah. I know. Okay, so where did it disappear? Where did the COVID disappear? Since where is it?
We're not doing a COVID.
No. During that time, I made sure I educate my youth. Look, these are the rights and these are the laws. These are the human rights. These are the law that they're gonna try to take from you during this pandemic. We know it was a pandemic, all right? Where the COVID at? It just disappeared. So I wish. No, wait. Back to the students.
Yes,
I wish
please.
that
Yes,
they could teach the students that from the beginning. Teach them how to be self-sustainable. You know, survival skills. You know what I mean? How important it is to have a cistern. I hear the government say, oh, they ain't want no cisterns no more. Like all these little stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think we should focus on. And yeah, the language could be in the morning. Cool. You know what I mean? In the morning. Yeah. What I said in the morning.
Pandemic. That's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna take a break. And then afterwards, hopefully we continue. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Late Night Show, the Great Debate sections, where we continue to inform you. Elections 2024, just around the corner, January the 11th, and we have two parties represented here today. Kenny Foston for the National Alliance, number 23, and number 1, and the only one, David Wigley, Mr. Wigley, from the ECE. All right, crime. Yeah, let's talk crime a little bit, guys. I know crime has been buzzing.
Definitely.
It's been buzzing. How would your party curb with the crime situation on the island?
Who's starting? Me? Okay, first of all,
I really
right?
want to hear this.
How would I do it? And I've been doing this, right? You teach the people, the youth, about the laws. Teach them what's illegal and what's legal. So that way they would have less chances of breaking the law. Because if I know something's wrong, the chances are I'm not gonna do it unless I'm really desperate.
Your parents supposed to do that though, Mr.
Nah, man, nah. Let me show you some. For example, Sunday, I there in Colby walking. I see a bunch of police taking all these youth them bike. I ask the youth, I say, it's stolen? Nah. I call the mother, it's stolen? No. But they took it. Why they took it? Because they don't fully understand the law. That's why they took it. So now, if somebody take my bike that I work hard for, right? It's not stolen, and they take it because I don't fully understand the law, right? What's gonna happen when my bike gone? I might get desperate, and I listening to the rap videos, whatever. I might want to rap for that. You know what I'm saying? So these type of stuff is what I'm trying to prevent by educating the youth. Okay, You got to do this type of paperwork when you get back. Boop, boop. This is the laws. This is this. This is that. Because they start off good. They start off good. It's a system that twists and turn them and do all types of stuff. Now, for the students and the children that's already in jail or whatever, right? I'm working on, which we already did, some rehabilitation type programs.
Rehabilitation.
You know what I'm saying? I could pronounce the word, my brother. Don't worry about that. That type of program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that way, when they coming out of jail or while they're in jail, I was in jail myself and they didn't have that. You could have some type of guidance counselor. You know what I'm saying? To help them out. Okay, when you come out, this is what you're gonna do. This is the type of direction you go. This is how you should get back into employment. This is how to gain back the trust
So we
of people.
we lacking that in St. Martin.
We lacking that. You know what I'm saying? The minute you come out, they should have a public apology in the community where you committed a crime, so that people could say, okay, you know what? He humbled himself. He came down.
Yeah,
He's a good youth.
they don't have that.
They don't have none of them things. So how are we really looking after the youth? You just throwing them in jail, and when they come out, you throw them back in the streets. The jail could be traumatizing, my brother. Jail could be traumatizing. You might think by leaving them in there, they're gonna come out and change. Nah, they could come out wiser at committing the crime they already went into. So no, we gotta teach them, look, you don't have to go that way. If you know the law, you know the system, you can make the system work for you.
Interesting. All right, Mr. Foster.
Once again, it just boggles my mind that National Alliance get blamed for, I think, everything, raising your children. It don't matter. Once you're in government, you get blamed for any and everything.
He didn't say that National Alliance is blamed, though. He didn't blame National Alliance this time.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. He didn't say the name. He didn't say the name. I guess
But they run in the government, right or wrong.
There we go. There it is.
So
There it is.
you
Right
see,
there.
so automatically he's like,
the National Alliance has.
it wasn't my word. Automatically he said, blame us.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
That's his cue right there.
Yes, the Minister of Justice is the National Alliance control. So
Prime Minister too.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let him speak, please.
Once again, National Alliance has received a 4-year term, which we have done a lot in what we had to face. But I digress. Let me don't continue on that point. Concerning crime, and I must commend the Minister of Justice. One of the things that she has done is the function books, and being able to kind of have knowing all the salaries, knowing all the function of all the workers. All right. With the Minister of Justice continuing her work, creating a safer space for women, something else that needs to be talked about. Trying her best to create a safer mental space for students and youth in general. And to me, what I believe is that we need to continue and enhance a lot of the work that's already being done. Now, I love something.
But is it working, though? Because crime is still at an all-time high.
Are we at a large enough sample size to tell if it's working? Again, people act as if this is a 10-year government. And I'm just like, a lot of things, if not newly incorporated or just newly executed, are just coming into fruition, and we are not seeing the fruits of what it bear. Let's give it some time. Hence why we're saying stability is important. Continue to let us mandate govern the country for the next 4 years, so we could then see the fruits of our labor, because we didn't have a clean slate or clean start in 2020. Again, need I remind everyone, pandemic. So, and then even pandemic, you have post-Irma that people were still dealing with. So again, let us have the next 4 years. Let us see the fruits of everything that we're trying to do that started now that we didn't have a clean slate to start before. And then going back in some of the things that Mr. Woodley said, I love something he said in terms of guidance counselors in the prison. So it goes back into what I mentioned in terms of education with social workers, not having enough social workers. And that's something that's, as a government definitely needs to tackle that even more. Because look, he made a point where we need guidance counselors to do that. All right, we need more social workers to come in these fields, help people who get incarcerated, help their mental issues so they could come out a bit more better. Just to be honest, everything he said in terms of how they come back out more wiser, more better. Again, but those things take a system. Those things take people working in those fields to come in and go there. And those things, in my opinion, are what we need to continue looking at and getting more of.
Yeah.
Comment. No, I'm glad you said that. You know, you're talking about one of the solutions I brought. Now, let me elaborate more on that solution, right? My association, Empire Culture Empowerment, which is on the French side and the Dutch side, we already have certain people set up, and these people are gonna go out and work with certain community youth councils as in different districts, and they're gonna educate the people on how to deal with some rude children, how to deal with bad kids, how to stop them from being crime, how to show them the right attention. For example, we had an after school program that I was working on, but your people made it a little difficult. Mediators and stuff after school to kind of look after the children and talk to them and basically tell them, look, you don't have to be fighting after school like that. Calm down. Direct the energy and the mind somewhere else. We could do that. But as far as educating the public, what we starting to do right now, we already started, is work with certain community centers. But a lot of community centers, they're looking for the money. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for money. No. They're looking for the money, right? For example, in St. Peter's, they always want to charge the people to use the community center. We could use community centers like that to invite the public and educate them on how to deal with the youth, because we have some professionals that could educate the community. So that's one of the solutions that we have, and we already started implementing it. We just need more access to community centers. The government should install something where, you know what? In every community center around the island, you should allow at least an hour a day for youth councils like us, right? Associations like us to assist the youth councils to talk to the students and teach them the rights, the laws, and you know what? The music you're listening to is not good, stuff like that, whatever is influencing that. That should be implemented. That should be there. So if your government didn't do it then, it's up to us to put them back in to do that. No, they do not care about the youth at all. This is what we need to do.
No, let me mention also, it's important that we mention that, upkeep of facilities is something that doesn't only fall with government, but also organizations that are placed at these community councils. So it's very important that people know the distinction between government having to be responsible for the governing of the island, and then also you have organizations over these facilities. Now, obviously, these organizations need money, need funds.
Well, we got volunteers. They get paid out of our own pockets. We got volunteers. We got like 10 volunteers. So we doing this for free. We've been doing it for free. Continue.
That's a good point. So, but
we love the youth.
Okay. But it's important to make that distinction. Okay, so there's organizations that are over the facilities, and then you have government that has a responsibility to make sure that these organizations function. And then there's another aspect, which is the community councils. So you can't put them all in one basket, Mr. McGee. So that's the reason why I mentioned it, because they are different factors when it comes to these community centers, and some are, makes no sense sometimes to me, but So as a young man growing up, I had that same problem whereby I wanted to do some fundraisers for the school, and I would go to the same community centers, and I thought it was just like how you thought they were supposed to help the community.
Yeah, they don't help.
You go to the center and you say, hey, I want to do this for the school. Is it possible? And they would be like, okay, $500. In school, what
are you talking about? That's the problem.
So I understand what you're saying.
And some districts don't even have community centers. Look at Cold Bay. Yeah. Look how big Cold Bay area is. That's one of the biggest districts at the whole west side. Where's the community center there? I was just talking to some of the youth over there.
I think would disagree,
They say Cold Bay is pretty big. They said that, look, we don't have a community center, but this is popping up, that popping up, this
Yeah. Everybody goes to Simpson Bay Community Center, I guess.
Nah, we need one in the Cold Bay, K-Bay area.
That's a good one.
So in terms of the community centers and all those that you mentioned, those initiatives or those things that you said you've done and all the professionals that you have, it just comes to my opinion that sometimes, then that's why I asked you earlier if government to blame for that as well too.
Of course they are.
Oh, so now you're saying government is to blame for that as well?
Of course, the youth should be the future is what.
So again, going
okay.
back to, you blame government. Listen, you stub your toe and walking down the road, you blame government as well too. You blame government for everything.
Yeah, we pay road tax if you fix the road. I stub my toe.
So there you go,
my axle go out of hand. The government, bro.
According to ECE, everything that happens to you bump yourself, you cut yourself by accident, government fault. But
make a point, please. There we go.
In terms of the community centers, I love the fact that Andrew broke it down and explained how it works.
Right.
Because although you're coming into this, and I definitely commend what you do. However, you do definitely lack some knowledge in some areas. So you think government.
Be specific. What areas are lack knowledge?
Political knowledge being one.
Okay. No, be specific in what areas are lack knowledge.
Overall political knowledge, how the system works. Let
him give him a chance to finish his point.
When Andrew mentioned in terms of the fact that it's an organizational structure, in terms of the community center, that's why I asked you the question: is government to blame for that? Before Andrew gave that explanation, some things are outside of the government control, and we as people. And 19 politicians, people have to work along with each other. So sometimes it is up to us, and I'm not talking in a political aspect. It is up to us. One of my fellow candidates has a slogan called "Rebuilding a Village." She's very old school minded like myself, so going back to the days where a village raised a community. A lot of things that you've mentioned in terms of our youth and everything, I feel goes back to how we raise. Me personally, I don't have no children yet, but when I have my child, I'm not leaving it up to the responsibility of the government to raise my child, to teach my child right or wrong, laws, things that needs to happen, so they don't end up getting locked up, so they don't take a bike and not know what the paperwork for the bike is. We need to go back and rebuilding the village. When you talk about educating people, okay, that's fine. But we can't just put it on government and say the famous line, because everybody wants to be so anti-establishment and say, government fault, government fault, government. We as people need to take our own responsibility in how we develop our communities.
But then it comes back to the point of the National Alliance being there for the past 4 years.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, and that's I think Mr.
Being in the education system, being in the education field, I have seen improvements in our education system.
Okay.
We've even digitized certain things that makes life easier for teachers, students, and youth here on the island.
Give me some examples.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
I'll give you a very easy one. We transitioned from chalkboards to digiboards. At first, I was happy about it. Me being a tech guy, I was very happy about it. But I saw some of the disgruntled teachers around, and from different schools, mind you, talk to them about it, and they were a bit hesitant. They were a bit pushed back. Now, it was my job to come in, having knowledge of this, to tell them what would be the benefits of something like this, and it would be a good thing. Eventually, it was incorporated, and I witnessed with my own eyes how teachers are using it, teaching with the students, interacting, and the students are more engaged to learn because it's not a chalkboard they could write. It's a digiboard. They could look up stuff. They could tap a game. An educational game could be placed upon the digiboard, and they could be interactive with the games. It gives a whole new way of learning, especially in this technological era that we're in. Again, that is improvement and enhancement, advancement when it comes to our education system. If you're telling me you're finding a creative way to get the children engaged in learning, that's great. That's great. You mentioned earlier, we have a problem with the lack of attention span. Again, we need more creative ways, and that is one of them. That example is one of them. More creative ways in educating our youth.
All right.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
One more thing. He's mentioned something, but I ain't got no political knowledge. Let's get back to reality, right? Politics is simple. They're a managing organization that's over the people. It's that simple. Ain't nothing too crazy. If you got a business, you the boss, you managing, that's it. Ain't nothing too crazy.
That's
no.
an interpretation.
Yeah, yes. Definitely.
No. I'm going to finish it. Right? So now you're talking about no political knowledge. We're talking about the youth. All we got to do is give them love and attention. You don't need no political knowledge for that. Now let's move forward. Now let's move forward. I go back to blaming the government because here you got to pay for freedom. If you got a bike that you bought, you got to pay the government for the license plate. You got to do this, you got to do that. You don't need no political knowledge to say, okay, I'm not free to do anything. That's just the way it is. So yeah, the government is to blame because everything your freedom, you gotta pay for your freedom, bro.
Okay,
and they're controlling your freedom as well. So now when we go back to the youth and whatnot, when you said about rebuilding and all those type of stuff is basically we still got to go back to the government because they are managing everything. And if they care so much about the students, how come they ain't got no lockers in none of the schools yet? I remember since I was young, I used to be carrying
pressing issues like finishing reconstructions of schools.
Man,
Let her finish.
Man, the kids are walking around with heavy bags, right? After being in hot schools all day, no AC. They had a heat wave going on. The government, instead, they let me put some ACs, they'll be talking about the budget, this, that, all type of silly stuff they'll be talking about.
So the budget is silly stuff.
No. I'm just making a point.
Yeah.
They are not giving the student proper attention. That is the problem. So they talking about silly stuff within the budget, but that budget is not going towards the student, or else they would have had lockers, AC, and all that. So now when they come out of school and they temper hot and they start fighting each other, you wonder why, because they hot all day in class. And if you're so cared about the students and whatnot, you would be paying these teachers the right salary so they could be more motivated while they're in a hot class with hot-headed students, you know what I'm saying, to teach them.
But how would you pay these teachers? Because you notice that we have an issue when it comes to pay.
Okay.
I just wanted to get
all right. How would you pay, right? How would you pay, right? Okay.
Especially for silly things like
in order for me to know exactly how to pay, your government has to be more transparent. They're not transparent. So if you want me to answer certain questions, I gotta have paperwork for me to say, okay, we could get rid of that, we could get rid of that, we could get rid of that. Now, if you just ask me like that, how am I gonna say that? There's no transparency. I remember for election, I couldn't even find the electoral ordinance, but I got it here. They have to send it. So all these little stuff, you guys don't create transparency for the people. So now if I want to bring a solution to the government as an association, how would I bring a solution if there's nothing for me to work with? That's why when I hear this political knowledge, if you don't know, you don't know. Where's the transparency? That's the problem.
Hold on. Okay. There is something that you said that I wanted to make sure that we get that straight.
Right.
The political knowledge part that Mr. Boston mentioned.
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with it 100% because Mr. Wigley did go the route of being one of the few associations to actually, or citizens to go the right way with a petition. Because many people don't know about the whole petition process that Parliament has to respond to, that Parliament has to handle based on the fact that he is or he has a group or whatever. No shot.
So once again, I'm gonna reiterate what I said a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
That I definitely give this young man a lot of respect, and the fact that he's doing this, especially like he said by himself, takes a lot of courage. I don't think people understand. When you outside, when you outside and you
could say what you want.
You could stay all the way you want. But when you decide to put yourself in it, which is what Mr. Wigley has done, so I definitely commend you, and I definitely you have immense respect from me for that route you've taken. Now, going back to my comment when I mentioned political knowledge, it's fine when you have the Constitution and you read the Constitution over, and then you could.
I know it's very real, by the way.
I agree. I believe that.
But if you don't have it, how can you know it?
And you're able to know it in the back of your head, that's definitely commendable. But when I talk about political knowledge, I'm talking about
politics.
I'm talking about what has been going on with politics. How the system works, or how certain things work in the system, or basic things that, someone, for example, like someone who's just coming out of high school, or you know what? No, I'm going to extreme with it. Just the average person down the road. I would say similar things about them as well too. Some people don't even know how much members of parliament or ministers that we have. Long story short, it's just basic knowledge that when you enter the field of politics, you're expected to know. So that's the area I'm coming at when I'm saying that you lack, and of course you're doing your due diligence and trying to gain that knowledge. So that I give you some respect for. However, in some of the things you mentioned in terms of how it works and government been there before and all these different things, it just is my opinion. Just my opinion, of course, is you can't go in saying, okay, I don't know this or I don't know. You mentioned just now about worrying about silly things like the budget. If you're in the political arena, you know the budget is nothing silly.
The budget is a general thing.
No,
what is the budget for? You guys talk
the budget
about
for the island. The budget for the island. And
no,
then when
it's for the island, but be specific.
The budget is for the whole island. When you watch things like
no, when I say in the meeting, you gotta be specific.
No.
But
Let's
specific.
Wait.
Specific.
Hello. Let's get it together, please.
Right.
No back and forth.
No, I know.
Yeah, just allow him to finish.
Yeah,
Come on, we civilize people here.
So the budget is for the whole island. When you watch things like the parliamentary budgetary debates, they break down everything for you in all its specificity. So you're able to be, hey, this is what the money is being spent on education. And members of parliament can agree or disagree or make some amendments in terms of what the budget looks like for that specific thing, which in one of our last budget debates, I think last year, the Minister of Education brought his presentation forwards. He received some amendments, suggestions by different parties. Also, too, the budget is even more important to the point where this is where you get to see, and this is going back to the question you asked earlier in terms of how we get those teachers, the money and those things. The budget is where you see you're able to, okay, this is what the ministry is spending money on. You know what? I don't like the fact that we spend this amount of money on this. Let's take that away, and then we could put that in afternoon school programs or paying teachers more or getting some more social workers. Those are where the money come in. However, that money is finite, and that's the problem I think a lot of people don't understand when it comes to all these different things of we should do this and we should do that and we should do this and we should get this and we should get that.
All right.
At the end of the day, all these things take money. The initiatives you wanted to do at the community center, but they charge you $500. You were not able to do it. You said that politics or government is like a business or managing company or something like that. At the end of the day, even if it is, it still requires money to be operational. And if that money is finite, which it is, how can you do all the things you want to do? St. Martin has been dealing with a money issue for a long time. How much deficit budgets we've had over the years. So money at the end of the day, so you can say transparency.
Okay. All right.
I could finish this off real quick.
No. You gonna finish it? No. Hold
real
on.
Quick.
Because this is the wrap up.
Yeah, real quick.
All right. So already? Yeah, it's already time.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Bigley, please, in your final statement to the audience, I want you to rebut and also tell them why ECE, and then we finish there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why I said silly budget, right? Because I don't want to speak too much about it, but you was with me at the little meeting last night, and I made it clear that they couldn't answer. I don't think you could answer either. Article 94, Mr. Not Politically Knowledgeable, says that we don't have control over the budget because that's kingdom legislation. We don't even, no, listen carefully. Listen carefully. Let me finish, right?
Okay.
According to the oath, it says that we pledge allegiance to the charter of the kingdom and the king, specifically. And it says right here, the people are not subjected to a referendum. So if I can't go to the people and say, look, we're discussing the budget, but according to Article 94, it says that I cannot come to you for no referendum. You can't make no vote. I can't do no petition. I can't do nothing like that. They're going to look at me like, what the hell are we talking about them? If we don't have no say in it, then it's a silly budget. That's what I meant by a silly budget. I was just waiting for you to explain me why I said that, because you was with me last night. You said you was listening, but I don't think you was listening.
And
so now,
statement, please.
What I'm gonna bring to the table, right? I'm not gonna really follow the political scheme, the way the system's set up. You know how how our colonial masters set us up to just follow this thing so we could stay being a servant. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna come in bold and brave and come in to represent the people, give the people a say where they don't have no say because the law doesn't give them a say. And they don't even know they don't have no say because we don't teach them the laws. We're using what they don't know against them so they could be destroyed. So this is what I want to bring. That's why I'm studying this book so long, to bring to the table. And you will have a vote. That's why I said my vote is for you, because they said according here that you cannot take part in a referendum. Okay. But as being a parliamentarian, parliamentarian or a minister, we're going to have some type of power, and my vote will be for the people.
Thank you, Mr. Vicky. Final words, Mr. Foster.
One thing to touch on with what Mr. Wigley said, yes, we were at a parliamentary seminar yesterday. I think what Mr. Wigley failed to realize, and I think that's him playing some politics right now for the people. And thank God, I like to fully be honest and transparent with everyone.
All right.
Mr. Wigley did receive an answer from the Secretary General of Parliament concerning that same question, and he clarified and broke it down. So I'm wondering why. So I don't know. So you're saying you didn't listen. So I don't know if you listened to that answer you received, but hey, you could definitely reach out to Mr. Garrett. Okay. I'm sure he could definitely give you that same answer again to that same thing you said. That
was it a yes or no answer?
Let him finalize. This is final comment. Yes, please.
So that just to address that. So hopefully the Secretary General could answer him again on what he answered him in terms of that inaccurate statement. Now, concerning my final statements, at the end of the day, I tell people this. Last election, I ran on strong focus on stability because I believe if we have a stable government, we're able to do a lot of things for the country. There's a lot of people, candidates, party, politicians that do not want to see this, even political public figures, do not want to see the continuous work, or they themselves want to put themselves in power for whatever greed. I urge the people of St. Martin to don't be fooled. Continue looking at a lot of the good that's being done. It's easy to see the negatives, but look at the good that's being done. Look at all the parties, pound for pound. Look at everyone's accomplishments, and of course, make a decision. And come January 11, 2024, I urge you to vote National Alliance. Vote for me, number 23, on the National Alliance slate.
Are you just doing a whole pose off now? All right.
Shout out to Andrew for the free promo. Free advertisement.
Yes, no problem.
Respect, my brother. It's all love.
Thank you, guys.
It's all love.
Again, I give this man a lot of respect. For real, nah, for real. What you doing, one man, everything. I do see you on the roads and everything.
You see, they pay attention.
And not just that, right? People like you, I'm looking forward to work with, right? I don't have no, like I said, I don't have no problem with the whole party. I try to point out the issues and who's over the issues. But if I see sincere people like you that wants to make a difference, then I'm cool to work.
All right. Okay. That does it for the debate. Kumbaya. See you tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll have another interesting program. Thanks for watching. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That does it for our Dick Court, late night show with Andrew Dick. See you back on Monday. Stay classy, St. Martin, because somebody got to.